So this again, folks, is what we're talking about. Collaboration, so that you know who does what, can help circle the wagons around your client so they can get services to stabilize them so they can be successful in their employment endeavors. Because that's what you need to do. We need to circle the wagons to protect them and help them to get jobs. Otherwise, they're not going to be successful, because you look at all these barriers already. Lack of housing, lack of transportation, lack of knowing what's on their background, lack of job search skills. All those things right there mean, you know, you are signing them up for failure if you don't provide those services. So you need to find out in your community who provides what and have a list of them, so that when you're talking to your food stamp recipient, you can say, oh, okay, in your initial assessment, here are some groups that can help you also. Here's what we can do, here's what they do.
And go to our cloud spreadsheet and put them on there so that you can help anybody anywhere in the state.
And I just want to add to Nancy's perspective about being a navigator. That's certainly our perspective as well. And when you have that perspective, you think about which barriers can I help remove, right? The old way of doing things was, like you said, here's a list of felony-friendly employers, good luck. The forward-thinking way, and I think more of the best practice way, is around what are the barriers, what can I do to help you remove those barriers so that you can then have, especially when you have a motivated person, a clearer path to employment and self-sufficiency.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so that comes with an assessment of your individual to figure out what those barriers are. I do have a one-page little assessment thing that'll give you, in 5 minutes, a pretty clear picture of what services this person needs in order to be successful. And then you can look on that, look on your cloud, and find out where it's in.
That'd be great if we did some of that.
Yeah. And again, it's a Word, and change it how you need it.
I wanted to ask you just, what are the criteria to participate at Bayard Industries?
We have 5 different programs and a bunch of different grants. One of the grants we have is CSBG from the City and County of Denver. And that is for youth transitioning out of foster care up to age 24, people 55 years old and older, and veterans. That's one grant. And we help with that, and we also help them work with getting into the hotel and hospitality, meaning food service industry. And when they have felonies, now I have 27 people on my caseload and 22 of them have felonies. So I don't work a lot with getting them jobs in the hotels. Although Sage Hotels do have a second chance program, and they will look at felons case by case. They started doing that last summer. We had a big meeting, and Ed Blair, who was the general manager at the Oxford Hotel, is now Embassy Suites. Sage is nationwide. There's 144 hotels that Sage manages in Colorado. So for you folks who are on the phone, look at those hotels because they have a second chance program. However, if you have been guilty of theft in the last 2 or 3 years, you're probably not going to get a chance to work at the hotel for obvious reasons. You have access to people's stuff. But if you have theft and you want to work in a kitchen in a hotel, that may be a different story. But you have to have somebody helping you, if you're the client, get into that and building that relationship with that hotel general manager and human resources manager. And so that helps a lot with that. I lost what we were saying. So
What are the criteria?
criteria for Bayard is that particular grant. We have another grant program that you have to be homeless. We do work with ex-offenders. Sex offenders are case-by-case basis with Bayard. However, I do work with sex offenders and help them, and if they can't come to Bayard, I will do their initial assessment on the phone and find out referral sources for them. And they can come to Bayard because I am the ticket holder for Denver Road Home Employment Subcommittee. If they need bus tickets, to get to and from a verified new job or a verifiable interview, they can come to me for them. If they need clothing, I will make an appointment for them at Denver Works to get clothing. If they need clothing for work, I will put it out on our distribution list on an email. So I will do everything I can to work with them, because there's a handful of us in Denver who will work with sex offenders. You were talking about that earlier. And it doesn't matter what the sex offense was. If they have a job and they're housed, the chances of recommitting the crime are significantly reduced. So, and I think that's important to know. It's significantly reduced. And I do believe in group homes, and I think we need to advocate for that for the serial sex offender, the ones who are seriously damaged in committing these crimes, because different than other offenders, they do tattle on each other, so they keep each other in line. So it's a good thing to have them in a group place, because they can't really commit a crime because somebody's going to rat on them immediately. So that's a good thing. And people don't understand, if you have people like that collected in one area, it's much safer for the community. Oklahoma City has done that. They have a, I forget what they call that group, but sex offenders have their own living space, and they are mobile homes, and it has a gate, and women and children are not allowed past the gate, and it's several hundred sex offenders live there. And they have their, and it's like a studio apartment size trailer that they live in, mobile home. And the police, the city council wanted to shut it down, and the police and the judges said, absolutely not. We know where everybody is at all times, and most of these people are working. And so it's better for the community, and that's something to look at too. They have a website. If you want to know more information about that city in Oklahoma City for offenders, I have their website at my job. Just email me and I'll give it to you. I just can't. I visited it recently. It's important to look at all of those things. So we help offenders, we help people who are homeless, we help definitely, because Bayard started out helping people with disabilities, both physical and mental illness disabilities. We help homeless people, and we help the 55 plus senior veterans and youth transitioning out of foster care up to age 24. So those 5 categories, and that's the criteria. We do help them get an ID and a social security card if they don't have it, so they don't have to come in as a prerequisite with any documents. They do have to be legal residents. So anybody who is in this country illegally, we cannot help.